Welcome back to the Blissful Badger. A year ago, I did a video about my pile of shame, or pile of opportunities. In that video, I talked about how I had spent a lot more time collecting than building, and how my collection had a lot of opportunity to grow in finished models. I had hopes and dreams and plans to increase my painted models over the year and share it with you. And after a year of doing videos, I can say I've definitely done a pretty good job of this. So last year, I took all of my models and I laid them out on the table, splitting them up into finished painting, built but not painted, and still on the sprue. And this year, I'm not going to do that again, because my collection has grown quite a bit, even though last year's was already quite large. This year, I'm going to show you what I managed to accomplish. Overall, 2023 was a year of quite a few changes. I went from having a nice little room for hobbying and a hobby desk in my bedroom, all the way to having a badger bunker. Over the year, I added to my collection, quite a bit larger than I had initially expected, and I managed to get quite a few things painted. I hit some of my goals, and others were surpassed much more than I was originally intending. And throughout it all, I had a lot of fun. So for 2024, I have some goals. Since last year was quite open, but still successful, I want to set slightly firmer goals this year. The first one, every army that can be fielded 1,000 points or more, I want to have 1,000 points painted and based. I want them to be battle ready. This means even the Custodes that I've only built 2 models for, all the way up to the Skaven that I've built 60 models and only hit 470 points, and my Tyranids that even after all these years are nowhere near 1,000 points painted. Every single one of these, I want to have 1,000 points battle ready. For some armies, that means I just need to go in and base the forces. My Grey Knights and Blood Angels are already built and painted, but they do need basing. Other armies, like my Drukhari and Admech, I do not have 1,000 points of models. That does not mean I'm going to go out and add models until they hit 1,000 points. That means that they're off the table. If I decide to work on some of those over the year, that's cool. But I'm not going to actively add to them to hit 1,000 points. Focusing on hitting 1,000 points with the 16 armies that I have should be a good goal. And of course, a stretch goal is to get them to 2,000 points, and some of them I think I can do that. Again, my orcs are already at 1,000 points battle ready. Goal 2 is to bump up the number of painted models. I went from 15% fully painted without basing at the beginning of 2023 to having 20.5% painted, even with the increase in model count. For this year, I want to get to 30% painted. That's double the rate. This might be a little bit difficult, but the thing that'll help me there is if I don't buy as many models. When you look at the actual raw numbers, I went from 3,038 models at the beginning of 2023 to over 4,500 models by the end of 2023. and I still increased my painted finished pile from 15% to 20.5%. So if I don't add very many models to my pile in 2024, I should, in theory, be able to finish enough to hit 30% painted. This may end up being a stretch goal instead of a real one. Goal number 3 might be a little bit counterintuitive to the first two. I want to spend longer painting up 2 or 3 characters over the year. I've always spent somewhere between 2 and 3 hours on a character, and they look better than my normal troops. But I wouldn't say that any of my paint jobs are display quality. I would like to do 2 or 3 paint jobs where I spend 10 to 20 hours on them. I want to see what my level of display quality is. I think this is a good exploration of my skills, and then I'll have some nice models to put in a case. And goal number 4 is to continue to play at the game shop. I have had so much fun getting out and meeting new people and playing my armies versus theirs. It feels so good to actually get to use these models after I've painted them. And again, if I hit 1,000 points on each army, I'll have more painted models on the table, which is always going to be a great feeling. And my last goal for 2024 is to continue to take you with me on my journey. I hope you've enjoyed the last year of content, and I hope to make much more content in the future. Everything I painted in 2023. So how was your 2023? Did you succeed in your goals? Did you get a lot of models painted? Let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, let me know what your favorite video was of mine and what you would like to see in the future. Subscribe if you haven't so that you don't miss any future videos. I also want to thank my patrons and supporters for making these videos possible. And until next time, I hope you find your bit of bliss.